Second main event, a one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing from Denton, Texas, weighing 237 pounds, David Von Erich. From Dunlap, Kansas, weighing 255 pounds, Dynamite Bobby Jaggers.
A couple of weeks ago on Wrestling at the Chase, Bobby Jaggers sounded off rather loudly. Said the time had come for him to get important opponents in important matches, big main events in St. Louis. He should be happy today. It's Jaggers against David Von Erich. Jaggers forcing David Von Erich to the ropes. And a clean break from Bobby Jaggers, although not a quiet break from Jaggers. Quiet is not part of the vocabulary of Bobby Jaggers. David Von Erich twists the arm of Bobby Jaggers, bends that wrist in, and Jaggers ends up in the ropes. Jaggers complaining about the officiating. You could probably hear part of his gripe. Side headlock by David Von Erich on Jaggers. Jaggers tosses David to the ropes. Flying tackle. Puts Jaggers down on a second flying tackle. Turns the trick again. A third flying tackle. A try for a fourth. David leapfrogged over the top and takes Jaggers over the hip with a side headlock. Fine wrestling by David Von Erich. Count of one, and David manages to get back up on top of the situation. 3 flying tackles, and Jaggers probably thought he had an opening there, that David was getting too confident with the flying tackle. He ducked down to give David a backflip, but Von Erich, whose mind is like a computer inside that ring, just clicking away, saw what Jaggers was doing, leapfrogged over the top, and put himself in perfect position to catch this side headlock on Bobby Jaggers. Von Erich squeezing with that side headlock. A lot of attention, of course, is focused on that upcoming bout between world champion Harley Race and Missouri champion Ken Patera, with Luthez the referee, as Jaggers flattens David Von Erich with an elbow smashed. But a lot of people too. Jaggers misses the elbow drop. Side headlock. Down goes Bobby Jaggers. As we were saying, there's an awful lot of attention also being lined up on the match between Von Raschke and David Von Erich, the Battle of the Claws. And of course you heard Von Raschke last weekend here say that during a tag match, he allowed David Von Erich to apply David's claw on Raschke, so Raschke had some idea of how he could defense it. And the fact that he claimed he had proved he could withstand the claw of David Von Erich. And Raschke also added that his claw, which he calls the brain claw because it is so much superior to the iron claw, is a far better weapon than the claw of David Von Erich. With all that attention on the claws, you have to wonder if maybe some other hold, some other maneuver might not prove to be the difference in the match. But it's quite a showdown, and certainly whoever wins between Von Raschke and David Von Erich, along with some of the other winners in that lineup, could well be in line for a crack at the victor between Harley Race and Ken Patera. Jaggers opening up against David Von Erich, using a thumb there to the throat of David Von Erich. This is a tremendous opportunity for Jaggers. If he could knock off David Von Erich right here, well, he's going to be someone who's in line for cracks at people like Ken Patera and Harley Race and all the other top stars. Jaggers has recorded a number of victories throughout the Midwest. He's no stranger to main events in many areas, so he has the experience to go with the fire of youth. And he's quite a handful for David Von Erich or anyone else. Jaggers twisting the head of David Von Erich. David spins out nicely. Good work from David Von Erich. And Jaggers goes to the mat and complains that his hair was pulled. Afraid not, because it was strictly the pressure in the wrist and arm by David Von Erich that tossed Jaggers down. One point that Von Raschke made last week when we were talking to him, I think is worth bringing out. David Von Erich obviously does not have the same physique, say, that Ken Patera does, but he has those long bones, that tremendous tight tendon strength, and his power is really much, much more than would be expected, and truthfully much more than the average wrestler has. He's tall, that's an advantage for him. tremendous agility. He's proven that time and again. And the fact that his claw is so effective shows just how much power he has in those forearms and wrists and hands. And of course, that's something that Von Raschke spotted right away, and it's something that Raschke's taking into consideration going into the Battle of the Claws with David Von Erich.
5 minutes have passed, 10 minutes left.
Von Erich blocked the thumb thrust of Bobby Jaggers, and then he knocks Jaggers down with a thumb of his own right to the throat. David Von Erich on top of Jaggers, pounding away on the head of Bobby Jaggers. David does have a temper, in case you haven't noticed. Jaggers takes aim at David Von Erich and pounds on the head of Von Erich. Jaggers taking a page out of the book of Dick Murdoch as he takes a bite from the forehead of David Von Erich. David Von Erich bounced head first into that top turnbuckle. The claw hold right. The claw hold right, yells Jaggers. Oh, Jaggers yells, this is the turnbuckle hold, and well it is. The only problem is the hole's being delivered by David Von Erich. Flying Beal. Flying head scissors by David Von Erich. And Jaggers thrashes about without much effect because David Von Erich, with those long, powerful legs, has the head scissors on Jaggers. You know, Ken Patera made reference to the only previous bout he's had against world champion Harley Race a couple of years ago in Toronto, and he said that Race was saying that Patera was fat and out of shape. I really can't imagine Race ever misjudging an opponent like that. I have to wonder if it wasn't something at the time to try and throw Patera off balance. Obviously, it did not do the trick because Patera held his own with Race 2 years ago. Probably the only fact that Race might have had correct when he was talking about the experience of Patera. But even there, you look at the experience Patera does have in athletics and in wrestling from his early days, back when he was in high school hanging around the gyms of Portland. Well, you add the 2 years of experience he's had now since that match with Race. All the main events in Carolina, in Texas, throughout the South, in New York, everywhere he goes, Patera is main event. The Missouri State champion, Harley Race, has his hands full. And Luthez, the great Luthez, 6-time former world champion, there to make sure that some sort of law and order is kept. It's going to be a rough match. Don't kid yourself. With Race and Patera there, you know there are going to be a lot of bruises and abrasions dished out, just like the one Bobby Jaggers gave to David Von Erich, nailing him with a kick as David was waiting to flip Jaggers. Jaggers drives the elbow into the forehead of David Von Erich. Again, the elbow to the forehead of Von Erich. Knee drop to the shoulder by Bobby Jaggers. He covers David Von Erich. But David won't even stay down for the count of one before Jaggers then has to hook the head of David Von Erich. The crowd yells in behalf of David, and Jaggers yells, "Shut up." That just makes the crowd roar louder. David Von Erich's head trapped in the burly arms of Bobby Jaggers. It's not a strangle. Chuck Riley, as you can see, checking it carefully. Jaggers says, "You better check him." Check him again, bellows Bobby Jaggers as he squeezes the cheeks together. David Von Erich thrashing about, trying to loosen the grip of Bobby Jaggers. Jaggers now leaning in behind the neck of David Von Erich. He can get that chest up fully against the neck of David. It's not going to be very comfortable. David trying to keep consciousness as his chin is driven down into his chest. Jaggers covers David Von Erich. Before the count of two, once more, David shoves off Jaggers. Jaggers quickly pounces and once more ties up the head of David Von Erich. Squeezing that head of David. Bobby Jaggers in command right now against David Von Erich. The big opportunity for Bobby Jaggers. And he's trying to take full advantage. David, first of all, needs to get out of that sitting position. That's just what he's trying to do now. If he can come to his feet, his height will play a part in maybe helping to break him free. Or maybe that elbow will, too, to the ribcage. Down goes David Von Erich. The crowd on the opposite side of the ring screams he pulled air. We had the same view Chuck Riley did, and there was no way to tell how Jaggers pulled him down. It could just have easily been with leverage or was tripping him from what we could see.
10 minutes have elapsed, 5 minutes left.
5 minutes remain. The second feature today on Wrestling at the Chase, and don't go away because we still have another tag team match coming up. A regular tag team match, and the duo of Von Roschke and Dick Murdoch will be reunited. You can recall the battle they had last weekend against Ted DiBiase and David Von Erich. That one to a draw. David pounds on the stomach of Jaggers. Finally, the head is free. Jaggers doubled up. Drop kick from David Von Erich. Jaggers staggering to the corner, trying to get his win. He's gasping. Head first, Jaggers goes into the turnbuckle. Oh, Jaggers reverses the whip. Jaggers reversed the whip, but he misses with the flying tackle and hits the turnbuckle. There's the claw. The iron claw of David Von Erich. Jaggers scoots underneath the ropes to get away. Jaggers quickly heading for the exit when David Von Erich clamped on the iron claw. What happens when he puts that claw, if he can put the claw on Von Roschke? And what happens if Roschke can get the claw on David Von Erich? And oh, look at the blood coming from the head of Bobby Jaggers. The iron claw has opened up Bobby Jaggers. Blood pouring from the forehead of Jaggers as David Von Erich grinds away with the iron claw. The blood streaming down the face and chest of Bobby Jaggers. David Von Erich and the iron claw have opened up and finished off Bobby Jaggers. The iron claw, just as it did to Harley Race once, opening up the forehead of Bobby Jaggers. You can see the blood on the inside of the hand of Von Erich. David yells, "I can do the same to Roschke." Watch as Bobby Jaggers tries to come to his feet, the blood pouring out of the forehead of Jaggers. You can see it dripping onto the mat. Bobby Jaggers, that head opened up by the iron claw of David Von Erich. Here's Mickey Garagiola.
11 minutes and 39 seconds with the iron claw. The winner, David Von Erich.
There's the blood that poured out of the forehead of Bobby Jaggers after David Von Erich caught him in the iron claw. Don't you know Von Roschke would love to do that to David Von Erich?